Mogadore is a very unique, close-knit community that loves its football.
Mogadore is accustomed to winning, and this year has been no different.
Everybody strives to compete with Mogadore. We have to be on our A game every week.
Mogadore is state champs in Division 6.
Every Friday, the whole town shuts down. It's football crazed.
The tradition is second to none.
People expect us to win. That's just what we do here in Mogadore.
The personality of Mogadore is hardworking, being generous, helping those in need.
It's a population of about 3,200, 2 square miles.
Everyone knows your name. Everybody knows your business. But it's the greatest place in the world to raise kids.
You either have the ones that stay and never go away like us, or you have the ones that they move out and then they're ready to have kids, they move themselves back into town.
The reason we have stayed here as a family is because of the hard-working values that are taught here and the safeness of the community.
It's a great community. Sports is a big deal here in Mogadore, and especially Mogadore football.
Mogadore has not had a losing season since 1997, which they know means everything to their city.
Jog.
Our kids started when they were 8 years old, and I started when I was 8 years old.
Come on, now, he's got you. Run him, get there.
Gives you a sense of family, you know, because you're playing with the same people for basically 10 years.
I'd say 80% of these kids had big brothers that played ahead of them. They had fathers who played ahead of them. They had grandpas who played ahead of them. But that's the tradition that stays here. There's not a lot of schools that can say that.
Since '79, we've had 3 head coaches. The coaches that we've had all went to Mogadore. They all know the kids, they all know the families. You know, that's why we have one of the top 5 winningest programs in the state of Ohio and the most consecutive playoff appearances.
Get your head down.
Well, I come from a family of football players. My dad played here. My brother played in the mid-'80s. They started playing when I was 8 years old, like many of us did here in town, and played all the way up through.
Jumping like a 5-3 look. 5-3 look. Power.
You know, the thing about Mogadore that I believe makes it different than other places, we don't have that one iconic guy that's going to be in the end zone with a statue someday, a coach or a player. It's been several families, several players, had families that have invested thousands of hours, literally of volunteer time.
Those of us that love Mogadore bleed Mogadore green. It's a saying, but it's true.
It's just an all-out commitment from the town because of the excitement that football brings us.
You know, everybody leaves town for an away football game. We played one away game a couple weeks ago, and our side was full, and the home side had 14 people in the stands. We travel well.
We are learning new information tonight about a fire over the weekend at the field house at Mogadore High School.
Yeah, the state fire marshals tells News 5.
I believe it was May 5th of 2018. We get the call with an alarm at the school. Come down the hill towards the school, I could see smoke coming out of the attic. It was a lot of fire off the get-go. It was wood trusses, so once you get a few of those to start to go, then they all start to weaken and go.
The fire destroyed everything, football equipment, all the uniforms.
It destroyed our weight room, our coach's office, our equipment room, an equipment office.
You know, the field house was donated by 5, 6, 7 people. You know, they built that by hand, and it meant a lot to people.
We couldn't believe our eyes because myself and many other guys helped build that. And then to see it go up in smoke, it was like, oh, it was awful. It's like, what do we do next?
The biggest thing was the water line that ran through the field house to water the field. They had a hard time replacing that. You know, it kind of ruined our field.
Seeing the deterioration of the field, we had made the decision to look at maybe moving to an artificial surface.
So we were looking to try to find ways, see if we can get it redone. Forever Lawn's name came up.
You know, we explored the options with Forever Lawn and decided that's what we wanted to do because we wanted to have a top-notch facility. And when we saw it, it's like, yeah, this is going to work really nice.
The whole experience of being involved with athletics in Mogadore now has changed. That gives kids something to cherish from the time they're 7 till they graduate when they're 18.
One of the things that I like about the sports grass is just always knowing that you have a great surface to play on. It definitely helps stay competitive by, you know, continuing to train and do things year-round that maybe we didn't used to do if the fields weren't ready.
The investment in our athletic facilities is what's going to keep our traditions and our success going forward.
And it's going to be important to keep getting kids to come out for sports because sports are so critical to every community, but especially in a smaller one. It's more than just a football field.
Our standard season is everybody plays 10 games. When you start the playoffs, it's typically 5 weeks till you get to the championship game. We are expected to hit 15 weeks.
Tighten up, tighten up. Hornet 5 Seminole Belly.
Hornet 5 Seminole Belly on set. Hornet.
There's a lot of expectations here at Mogadore. 7-3 is not good enough.
Remember, breathe, Laner, breathe.
You know, they expect you to go 8-2, 9-1, 10-0, and then win a league championship and make the playoffs, and go deep into the playoffs.
Good, good. That looked good. That looked good. Here we go. Here we go.
So we're going over to the church. Pretty sharp, pretty crisp tonight, which is how they should look in week 11, right? We need to be ready to go tomorrow. They're going to be, I guarantee it, okay? Cats on 3. 1, 2, 3, catch! We're going to the church in our parking lot. All right.
That was so good over there. I'm good. His manicotti.
You are about to play your 100th playoff game. A lot of schools would like to be playing their 100th playoff game. The playoff streak started before you guys were born. You are part of something big, much bigger than yourselves. We are privileged at CLC to be able to host you to this dinner. It's just kind of our thank you for some of the joy you bring to us. You take us on that amazing fall roller coaster ride every year. And this is our thank you.
Well, I don't care how old I get, I still have butterflies. You feel the pressure of wanting to continue the excellence here. You know, you're playing for so much more than just the guy next to you. You're playing for a school, you're playing for a community, you're playing for legacy.
Playoff time's crazy. So everybody gets early, gets things set up.
It's taping down my seat pad. It's a weekly ritual.
Friday night, you're going to see a very proud community that comes out and supports, whether it's game 1 or game 11 like it is this week.
Never lived anywhere that is this motivated towards high school football.
There are people that are, you know, Mogadore lifers that come back to these games and watch. You know, I think that's what makes it special and different.
It's tradition. It's about family. You get to see your kids play. You get to see your neighbors' kids play.
So this is John, number 50. Go Wildcats. These boys have been together since Pee Wee. That's why they play so well together. They know each other. They trust each other.
Well, as a coach, you're thinking about everything from the weather and how it's going to affect the game to how your kids are feeling. You're playing out the game several times in your head. But overall, the number one thing you're hoping for is that your kids show up and are ready to go hard and execute. Tonight isn't so much about the team in that locker room. On the other side of the field, it's about the guys in this room. You got to get last game out of your mind. You got to get scores out of your mind. All that doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is 1-0 tonight. Survive and advance. Let's go.
our kids go out on a football field, they're warriors. If you bend, we're going to break you, because that's what football's all about.
White Pro Buck.
Everybody wants to beat us. When Mogadore's on their schedule, I'm sure it gets circled.
He might score. Good.
Number 87, the kids in Mogadore, they expect to win. No matter what the circumstances, no matter who the opponent is, the expectation is always to win.
There he goes. Touchdown. Nice cut. Nice.
Step down hard! Nobody inside!
35. Number 87, Mason Williams, in for a Wildcats touchdown!
Winning's a big part of what we do, but we want our kids here in Mogadore to, grow up and be successful after they get out of high school. We invest in our kids, and that's what makes our town so great.
Just because it's a small school doesn't mean you can't achieve your dream. If you start reading about the Joe Montanas, the Jim Kellys that ended up professional football players, all coming from the same western side of Pennsylvania, them were small towns. Small towns got its benefits.
What Mogadore football stands for and all about is making you become a better person, both on and off the field. Being part of a football team inherently has a lot of challenges. Being a good teammate, being coachable. Hopefully their experiences here are going to better prepare them for challenges in life. I want our kids to know how much we care about them and the importance of caring about somebody else and about something that's bigger than yourself.